Are you a gay man living in a straight marriage where your wife does not know that you're gay? That's what we're going to be discussing today. So, this is a very interesting topic and something that is not as uncommon as we think. And how do people navigate through their marriage or their relationship when they're in this type of situation? Do they tell their spouse? Do they not tell their spouse? How do they go about living in a marriage where they're not attracted to their wife and yet they're kind of stuck in this situation? So there's lots of questions surrounding this, and we're going to go through at least five of them today. I'll be talking a little bit about some of this that I have in my book. There's a whole section that I did in my book on this particular topic where I did a poll and I asked people, if you're gay, and I asked men and women, would you tell your spouse about it? And it's interesting what some of the men said. It's interesting what some of the women said. Actually, it's kind of shocking what some of the comments were. I was even surprised. So I put them in my book. There's a whole entire section in my book devoted just to the comments that were left on an article that I published. So, getting a little bit deeper into this topic here, let's talk about number one, how this happens. How does a man get married to a woman when he is gay? Now, some of the men have said that they weren't completely sure that they were. They kind of had an idea, but they thought that if they got married and they, had the family life, that perhaps their feelings would change. Well, I can tell you right now that that didn't work for 99.9% of them because feelings don't change. The second reason was that they really wanted to have the quote unquote normal life, have kids, and they thought that maybe they could be in a marriage, and if they needed to, fool around here and there, or they call it the down low, that could be something that they could do as well. Again, not a good idea, not fair to your partner at all. And so the reason that I wrote this particular chapter is because it became a big focus of the article I was doing, where women were coming out and saying, I don't know why my husband doesn't want to have sex with me. He's not attracted to me. And I've asked him if he's gay. He said he isn't, but I think he is. And I wish he would just tell me so that I know what to do. And the reality is, if you are in this situation, it is your responsibility to tell your wife if you're gay or not, because she should be able to choose whether she wants to be with you or not. And it's not fair to put her in that position, and it's not fair for you either. So I'm going to read a comment or two so you can see what other people had to say on this very interesting topic. So in my book, there's a section that says, yes, he should tell his wife, and there's one that says, no, he should not tell his wife. So Donald says here, nope, keep it a secret until you die. Never tell, especially if you have children together. Most likely your wife knows and is okay with it, just as long as you don't talk about it. I mean, really? Is that really how you have a healthy relationship with your spouse? Where there's this underlying tension, but nobody wants to talk about it? Not okay. Katie says, absolutely yes. Will it hurt? Yes. If one can't be honest with their spouse about something as fundamental as sexual orientation, then there really isn't a marriage. It shows a complete lack of respect. And I have to agree with Kate. When you get into marriage, you make this choice to be each other's partner and not to be, somebody else's partner, but you make this decision together. And if you're not being upfront and honest in the very beginning, then you're not giving the other person the opportunity to decide how they want to live their life. And that is not very respectful. So let's see what Brian has to say. He says, I find men sexy and enjoy having sex with men. I feel I should tell my wife, but it would tear the already struggling relationship apart, and I feel the kids would suffer the most. So I just keep quiet and get on with what's best for the greater good. So in this situation, he's almost becoming a martyr in his own life. And this is really sad because not only is he not enjoying his sexuality, his sexual freedom, his wife isn't either. And in the end, it is not for the greater good of the family because you're not going to be having a loving, close relationship. If they could talk about it with each other and come up with some understanding, perhaps they could find an alternative way. But certainly, not talking about it is not all right. Sad wife. My husband just told me after 32 years, married 34 years together, and sure would have been good to know when I was younger, so I had a chance at a new life. I'm going to read you one more. Harley, the question should really be, do you love your wife? If a person loves another person, they would rather die than see any harm, both physical and emotionally, come to that person. Why then lie and make your life a life that is false? When to her, it's everything she holds dear. Do you understand that you are forcing another human being, another soul who has one life to live on this earth, to live a life based on half truths, deception, infidelity? Need I go on? If you truly loved your wife, same goes for any partnership, truly love them, then you would tell them, and as soon as you could, in the best way you can possibly explain to them about who you are and what you want in life. If you love them, you will let them make up their mind. And if they left, it would be because they are in search of a more fulfilling and better life for themselves. And as I go through the book, towards the end of the book, I give some case studies on this topic. But the reality is, let yourself free. That's really what it's about. We have one life to live. And why be in a situation where two people are miserable and not being truthful or faithful with each other? So if you have any comments, please leave them after the video and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And of course, subscribe to this channel. I do want to hear from you, and I'd like to know how you feel about this topic and if you're struggling in a relationship like this and what you're going to do about it. I believe everyone deserves to have a healthy sex life, and so do you.